Think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Welcome to Tales in the Field. We are back and better than ever. My name is Bradley Ball, and it's so good to have you with us. It's been a busy week. Monday was our kickoff show where we covered Azure Fast Track and how you can interact with us over at Microsoft. On Tuesday, we had Buck Woody himself come aboard for our first Tuesday show where we play a game and we elect a new host. The winner was Andreas.
Yes, finally,
Andreas.
there's politics in this group. You guys, you're not seeing that behind the scenes, but there's politics. Finally, I know.
And look, if you didn't miss that show, it was a heck of a show. Don't worry. Stay right there. This show is posted to YouTube after the stream, and you can check it out at your convenience. And if you want to interact with the show right now, we are streaming on the Twitter account of SQL Balls and at Josh Ludeman. That's Josh right down there. SQL Balls, that's me. Also streaming on my LinkedIn under SQL Balls. So head over there and tweet or comment on the stream, and we may add your comment to the show. You can also go to the YouTube channel for the show, and you can comment on the live stream, and we may look at it. One of my colleagues will throw it up on the screen. Don't forget, we are almost 1 week away from Data Saturday Dallas, just a little over that. Hurry up and register. Also, almost 2 weeks away from Data Saturday Atlanta. These are great events with an awesome lineup of speakers. Please make sure you go check them out. Next week is the Data Platform Summit, the largest conference in all of Asia. It is free. It is remote. We have MVPs, Microsoft speakers, so many people, amazing people will be appearing and speaking at the Data Platform Summit. Best of all, it's free. All you have to do is go and register. So please make sure and do that. As if it couldn't get any better than that, as always, I am joined by my amazing co-hosts. We have Andreas Padilla, Josh Ludeman, and the ambassador of Quam himself, Neeraj Bradley. Andreas, 1 week is almost in the bag. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling spry. I'm here with my 3 favorite people. Actually, the 3 people I spend more time with than anybody else on earth. So it's good. It's good to be alive.
Excellent. Josh, Neeraj, any good plans for the weekend?
Oh, for me, I'm going to head out into the garage, do a little work in the wood shop, helping my daughter with a school project, which means, I don't know how everybody else handles the school projects, but I had the tough conversation with my daughter that I'm sorry, you're probably going to have the not the best school project going out of all of them because I'm the parent that's going to make you do it. So unlike some of the other school projects where the parents,
it's tough love. They got to learn.
Their kid, I'm going to, I'm making sure since she's making a wood crate that, we don't lose any digits. We don't put a screw through her finger, all the basic stuff that when her mom comes back, if she's deformed, I'm kind of on thin ice. So we're, that's all I'm working on right now.
This is a bad week for you to be away, Lisa. You had 2 children and then you came home and now you've just got 1 and she's at college. Ugh.
Yeah. So, is that a bad week? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, Neeraj, how about you? Any good plans for the weekend?
I'm planning to go to New York City, just to take the kids out and have fun.
New York in the big wow. New York isn't ready for Neeraj. That's all I'm saying. City that never sleeps. They better take a Red Bull. All right. So today is our Thursday show. The Thursday show is a community roundup. And this is where we all talk about the blogs, videos, other things that people have been putting online that we find to be amazing and of wonderful assistance. So, gentlemen, as you tell me what it is that you have and you want to talk about, I'm going to do my best to grab the links. You gave them to me beforehand, but I apologize. I think my scatterbrain is going to show, so I'm going to be clicking around on tabs. But the goal is to show these things after the show. We will post every single one of these links on the YouTube site, and we'll make sure that people know how to be able to get to them. Andreas, you're up first, buddy. What have you got? Ooh. What do you love?
Wow. So I'm getting hit up a lot by customers, that want that whole data warehouse lifecycle. And Databricks is sometimes included in that with Synapse. And how does that all look and feel? How do we get data in? How do we land it? How do we transform it? And if you guys out there want to watch one of my go-to, people out there, it's check out Advancing Analytics on YouTube. These guys know how to explain it, and they make it so easy and consumable that you're like, wow, it doesn't seem complicated. With what is it? Advancing Analytics is run by a gentleman called, his name is Simon Whitley, and definitely check him out. He goes into what's Delta Lake, how to use autoloader with Databricks, how to get into Delta Live Tables, why you want to use Delta Live Tables, structured streaming if you have anything that's streaming in, and how to land all of that and get your environment to work properly. So I think, Brad, if you can throw in there one of those links for getting into Delta Lake, and then on top of that, connecting.
I tell you what, I'll let you grab that for me next round. But
gotcha, bud.
I'll make sure that we get this link out there, because I was going to say Terry McCann, Simon Whitley, they're both running Advanced Analytics. I know Terry's an MVP. I can't remember if Simon is. If Simon's not, he definitely should be. But yeah, they are some great community members producing some fantastic content. That Andreas, that is a fantastic pick.
Send it to Josh. He's probably got some great tidbits up his sleeve.
Well, no pressure or anything. Holy crap. I mean, for me, the first one I like to start with, especially kind of breaking the ice with hybrid at the beginning of this week when we were talking about tech trends. The first one I like to lead with is the Azure Arc Jumpstart, just because a lot of folks don't fully understand what Arc is, because it's a lot, right? Because Arc is from an infrastructure standpoint. You can manage infrastructure with it. You can deploy data services on-prem. There's, the Kubernetes and the management side of the same product that makes it a lot to wrap your head around. Jumpstart gives you easy to use ARM template scripts and things like that to deploy a quick sandbox with any one of the flavors of Arc, and in different places. So you can deploy, Arc-enabled services, or you can deploy Azure Arc-enabled VMware vSphere, Arc-enabled SQL Server, which is managing a VM running SQL Server. It gives you an easy way to deploy them in different ways. So like Arc-enabled data services, it gives you some scripts to deploy that. You want to deploy it in EKS, GCP, you want to deploy
GCP in AWS?
I'm sorry?
GCP and AWS, we can deploy Arc over there?
Yeah, absolutely. You can deploy it, any of the data services or any of the services really on anything there. So that's and that's kind of where I was getting with the management plane when we were talking about it the other day. Is Arc really opens up that portfolio so that you can literally run Azure anywhere or manage with Azure anywhere.
Wow, that is incredible. That is some really good stuff, Josh.
I should have saved that. I should have saved that for, when we got to, competition, because this is truly amazing shot right there. It is.
Did you just go Jim in the holograms on us? Truly outrageous?
Truly. Yeah.
Wow. I was gonna say I love the 80 throwback right there.
You just forgot the star tattoo on my eye today. That's all.
Brad is trying to win the competition, so
I'm trying to win.
There's no points today. There's no points. Andreas is saying.
Sorry, Josh.
I was gonna say this is like not being able to be eliminated from the
I'm
island.
laying the foundation for greatness.
We need an immunity idol on Thursday shows. Just to remind us. Everybody's safe.
An immunity aisle. I like that. We will hide that in the backyard of somebody's house, and they will probably find it and throw it away, and we'll never find it. So I'm going to go with Glenn Berry. So my good friend Glenn Berry, Glenn is an MVP. Glenn is just one of the most intelligent men in this world when it comes to SQL Server and physical hardware and the performance on there. And what he did is this month he hosted TSQL Tuesday. If you're not familiar with TSQL Tuesday is something that was come up with by a gentleman named Adam Mechanic years ago. I mean, we got to be talking well over a decade at this point. And every Tuesday, someone will host the blog. They will say, here's the invitation. This is what it's about. And then the following Tuesday, which was this past Tuesday, the rule is people are supposed to go into this blog and they are supposed to leave in the comments a link to their blog. And so the invitation was, this is going to be coming here. And really what we wanted to look at was, what are you excited about? What excites you about SQL Server 2022? There's a lot of great stuff coming off of this. And I'll be honest, we're probably going to have more than one blog that is associated with TSQL Tuesday. But my hat's off and my kudos to Glenn for hosting this month. It's also a wonderful opportunity to be able to, if you're a new blogger, to be able to get attention to your blog. So thinking about that community angle, if you're looking for a way to start blogging, participate in events like TSQL Tuesday, because everybody who participates in it, from MVPs who have known Microsoft and are known throughout the world and who have written books, to people who are very new in the industry. When I was just first starting out, before I'd done anything like that, I was participating in TSQL Tuesdays. They're absolutely amazing. Neeraj, how about you?
Thanks, Brad. I wanted to add also on your blog is on Twitter, you can always do hashtag SQL Help. Definitely that is something that you will have a lot of SQL gurus up there who can help you out back. So something that you can definitely do, hashtag SQL Help. And then there is also a good video from Bob Ward going over what is SQL 2022. So that is something that I can, Brad, if you can just post that up. But just wanted to also...
Absolutely. If I could real quick, I'm going to go into my tweet deck real quick, and I'm going to look and show you that you can see there's SQL Help right there. And the amazing thing about SQL Help, this was a hashtag that some MVPs, Robert Davis, God bless Robert Davis. I miss him like crazy. Robert was just an incredible man, always looking to be able to help others with knowledge. And SQL Soldier, as he was often well known on his blog and on Twitter, Robert said, hey, there's got to be a way that we can have a bat signal to shine in the sky for when people need help. And some of the smartest consultants in the world, people from Microsoft, people just in general who participate in the community are a part of SQL Help. And they offer up free advice. I remember at one point in time, I was working at a place, they had blocked Twitter, and I was on there on my phone as we're troubleshooting something. My boss comes in and goes, what are you doing? And I said, actually, right now I'm speaking with someone on the Microsoft product group, and I'm speaking with a Microsoft certified master who's reacting to the issue that I'm posting on Twitter right now that we've got, that our production system is down. And ever after that, he was an old New York guy. When we had a problem situation and something was down and we're putting our heads together in a war room, he would walk in and he would go, hey, Brad, hop on the Twitters and see if some of those folks can help us. So it
hop on the Twitters, will you?
Absolutely. Hop on the Twitters. It was one of the best things that you have in the SQL community, to be able to get help, to be able to get effective help very, very quickly. Absolutely. Hashtag SQL. Also, don't broadcast on the channel. That's not what it's for. It's for help. It's for people replying with answers. It is not for people to broadcast their blogs, not broadcast their products. And if you do so, people will shout you down immediately. I will be one of those people, because Robert used to do that. And we want to make sure that that stream is never polluted and that people are able to get help there. But Neeraj, fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Andreas, I think we're back over to you, sir.
Wow. Next blog that I want to put out there is, we're repeating this. Let me grab this really quick.
And I believe, I think I've got the link right here that you sent me. This is from SQL Bits 2020. This is another video, Databricks, Delta, and You by Simon Whitley.
Yeah, Databricks, I mean, wrapping for me, and I see a lot of customers that have a hard time wrapping their heads around what is, Delta Lake. How does it look? What do the files look like? What's the file structure look behind there? How do I maintain performance within Delta Lake? If you watch that video, he'll break it down for you. What it looks like in a storage account. What do you have to manage? How do you do vacuuming? What's Z ordering? All those best practices for managing Delta Lake. He'll start tapping into that, and he'll demystify the mystery behind what Delta Lake is and what that looks like from a Databricks standpoint and also from a Synapse standpoint. Definitely watch that video.
That's nice.
Outstanding.
That's nice.
I was going to say, you guys are giving me a lot of good stuff that I'm not even familiar with that I can't wait to go and watch and hear about. This is exciting. I'm going to learn from this just as much as some of the folks who may watch this video later are going to learn from it. So Josh, hit me with your best shot. What do you got?
So the next one I want to run with is one from Thomas Moore. So this blog is about running PowerShell scripts with Azure Automation Hybrid Workers to actually run on-premises VMs using Azure Arc. So again, getting to that other piece of Azure Arc, kind of continuing on that theme. This one is actually being able to run scripts through Azure to actually execute in on-premises VMs. For managing those VMs, whatever you need to automate on a virtual machine. So being able to do that, and again, that same theme, control through Azure and control in other environments. In this case, the examples on premises, you could easily do the same thing and control and run automation scripts, PowerShell scripts on EC2 VMs on Amazon. You could run them on GCP VMs, Rackspace virtual machines, whichever you prefer.
And I love the use of just graphics to be able to walk you through so you understand, looking at this blog, what it's going to look like. So that way, when you're doing it, you've got something to be able to compare to. Just a fabulous job. And I mean, look, Thomas looks amazing with his little scruff right there, right? I mean, that's a handsome guy. That doesn't hurt either. Our good friend Daniel Taylor. I was going to say he had something to share. Andreas, this is going to be near and dear to your heart.
This is dear to my heart. And yeah. Dan, thanks for pushing this out there. If there's one article or one little thing that you want to do for your journey in Azure, is decluttering your knowledge for how the access model works within a data lake. And that Hitchhiker's Guide, hopefully you pulled it up, thank you. That Hitchhiker's Guide goes through what's the data lake, why, how do I organize it, do I need one, do I need two, what if I have multiple regions, what if I have multiple clients, what does that look like? And then they start drilling into the access model. And the reason I point this out, and I'm so happy that Daniel, pointed this out, is because everything pretty much touches a storage account. Azure Functions talk to a storage account. Synapse, where's my data lake? Databricks, where's my data lake? Machine learning, all of it touches in some shape or form a data lake. And you want one of the administrative tasks that you have as a data engineer, and maybe a data scientist, is you got to manage access to those folders, those containers. And if you do that properly and you read this, you'll start to, get further along your journey and how to manage all of this, all the moving parts much easier. Definitely a must read.
And it's so key. Some of the things that they talk about in here that you wouldn't normally think about. GDPR. How are you going to handle your data? If you have data sovereignty issues, how do you provision these things? And then how do you have them work with one another? So sorry, I got a little echo there for a moment. But again, just an absolutely fantastic article. Thank you so much, Dan, for that. Sorry, Neeraj, I hopped on your spot right there. What do you have next, my friend?
One thing that I worked this week was data lakehouse. Data lakehouse architecture is definitely a best thing that I came up because it combines both the worlds of single data platform offering and combining capabilities from both earlier data warehouse platforms and also a single unified data platform.
And forgive me, I don't know specifically if this was the blog. Is this the blog by Dan English, Power BI using Service Principal?
That's one of the other blog that you can also look into it. This is definitely one of Power BI, how you can use service principles into the SQL pools and bringing the data to the Power BI. But this was another one that Arshad Ali wrote down on the Data Lakehouse platform. I'll put you.
Oh, I got you. I think I've got that link. I tell you what, if you talk a little bit about Dan's blog, I will. I was going to say, I will make sure to get the building a lake house the next go around.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So, did you want to talk about this one a little bit?
You can go ahead. I mean, I'll just need to open it up.
Oh, no. So this one, I believe, is talking about how we can use service principles to be able to securely connect between services using a service principle with Azure Synapse. And I can't remember the other services they're using, but this is via an ODBC connection. So this was one, Neeraj, that you had as well. Yep. Dan English, another just wonderful blog. For myself, I'm going to travel back over to Glenberry and our friends over at TSQL Tuesday. Forgive me, I've got a list that I'm trying to go through so I can find everything. And it keeps popping up on the wrong window. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk about Dethi Garugu's blog, SQL Server blog, DBA Nuggets. She was specifically talking about some of the new performance features within SQL Server 2022. And I thought this was just a fantastic blog. One of the things that she's talking to is about the capability to use the query store that will be replicated on secondary instances. So if you're using always on availability groups, one of the things that you may not have realized in the past, or you may have, and this is a good reason for you to look at SQL Server 2022, is that when you get to always on availability groups, read-only secondaries cannot write to their query store. At least not before SQL 2022. So what would happen is the query store is resident within the primary database. It gets copied over to the secondary databases, but people put their read-only workload traffic on those secondaries, and they need the capability to be able to look at those queries as they're executing, capture information about that, and then be able to troubleshoot that. And so this is a huge optimization to be able to store read-only secondary information into the query data store. So that way we can actually get some of this and we can troubleshoot it. Let's see. Next up, Andreas, do you have anything else?
No, you mentioned something about service principles when Neeraj was talking.
Yeah.
And anytime I hear service principles, I always bring up the evolution of Homer. So I just wanted to put it out there for the audience.
Very nice. All right, Josh, anything else that you've got that you wanted to go over?
The only other one, well, I had two other ones, but the one I really want to make sure that we get before the end of the episode is one from Wim Matheson. And it's really an overview of one of the newer infrastructure services in Azure Arc called Azure Arc Enabled VMware vSphere. So what this allows you to do is, again, it's still on the management side of Azure Arc, but it allows you to manage your on-prem VMware vSphere environments. So this gives a great overview of it. Why it's a good thing to have, things like that. Definitely a good read for everyone to go through and, take a look at that and get a better understanding of the service.
Okay. That sounds fantastic. I don't think I have that link. If you shoot that over to me, I will make sure and get that in the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I thought I gave you that one. I apologize.
And it could be my fault at this point in time. I'm scrolling through a lot of things back and forth. Again, for first Thursday show, I will learn as we go, and we will get this sorted out next time. So for me, there we go. I see that blog now. Let me, for some reason, this is all going to the wrong window. Let me get it in the right window, and we'll share it. This is Wim Matheson's, but there we go. Azure
Yeah,
Back to
more-
School
more
2022. Let's take a look
yeah.
at Azure Arc enabled VM and vSphere. Oh, and look at that. Cloud City. I mean, come on. Oh,
Right? I was
Whit,
waiting for it. And then when you said you didn't have the link, I was like, oh,
you had me at hello.
right?
You had me at-
Right? You
Yes.
had me at low.
Unbelievable. No, this is fantastic. We're absolutely going to make sure that we get this out there. He's got a video contribution on this as well. So, oh, and I love the screenshots. There we go. Walking through this to be able to show how to be able to set this up, how to be able to configure this, how to be able to validate that it's working properly. This just looks fantastic. All right. So I think it's me now. So I'm actually going to go and I will cover my good friend Rob Farley, who is an MVP down in Australia. Rob has a great blog that he contributed to Glenn Berry's TSQL Tuesday post. It's called SQL Windows. The thing that Rob is excited about is the capability. If you look at this syntax, we're actually changing the way that we do the rollover by windowing functionality. Not only does it change to where we're going to be able to organize this, and that's going to be much more readable, but it also changes and adds some additional functionality that we have to windowing functions to be able to write those complex queries that sometimes we have to in data warehousing environments and aggregations and things of that nature. Really, really cool feature. People often look at what we're adding as feature. They don't always look at the syntax. And syntax is, there's always a lot of new syntax that becomes released within something. And the really cool thing is if it's coming into SQL 2022 and it's syntax and it's engine related, that's a pretty easy process. We're probably going to see this in a cloud product. All right. Good stuff. What else? I think really that's a lot of community stuff. We've got a couple minutes to go. So let's talk about what we're doing in the world. And I'm going to get this activated on the right monitor. Geez, everything's going to the wrong monitor today. There we go. So I am through with all the user group presentations for this month that I currently had on my calendar. If you are a user group and you're looking for a presenter, I know a couple folks. They're right down there, right here. Please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to be able to contribute to the community. It's such a great community. And the key to it is the audience that shows up and also the speakers that help come out and educate on topics. We love to help user groups. I have attended very many of them in my lifetime. They're a fantastic place to learn. The next events we've got, our good friend Dan Taylor for Data Saturday Dallas. Remember, he's going to be there, not this weekend, but the following weekend in Dallas. The weekend after that is Data Saturday Atlanta. I'm there. Dan Taylor's there. Ree Merritt's there. Anna Hoffman is there. Buck Woody is there. Bob Ward is there. It's going to be just an unbelievable time up in Atlanta. And then the weekend after that. So we've got 3 weekends in a row for you. Data Platform Summit next week. 3 weekends of great content coming up. Our good friend, Andreas Padilla, the winner of Tuesday, will be speaking at SQL Saturday Orlando. Andreas, again, what you talking about? Plug your presentation a little bit, buddy.
We're talking Percept. We're talking NVIDIA. We're talking Azure Data Explorer, streaming, what you need to watch out for, what is structured streaming in Databricks. It's actually, just little micro batches. That's all you're doing in Databricks. So we're going to talk about everything about streaming, how to get into that. But before I go, there was a question last week about what's my favorite streaming demo. And there's one that I just posted it and I sent it to you, Brad, if you can post it. It's how to do anomaly detection with an MX chip. That's my favorite one.
Ooh,
it's actually
fantastic.
really cool.
And Demu, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at the Atlanta event. That's going to be a lot of fun. Absolutely. Come out and say hi to us. That's part of the reason that we're there. And hopefully you get to enjoy the session as well. And then, of course, as always, there's Live 360 coming up in November. My favorite conference every single year. And Josh, where is that conference located?
It is on the beautiful grounds of Universal Studios Orlando Parks and Resort at the wonderfully quaint Lowe's, Royal Pacific.
And we've got so many fun activities planned. There is a dine around Monday night where we will go out with people who attend the conference. And they normally, last year they had something at the Hard Rock. It was up on the balcony. They had a bar there and they had hors d'oeuvres and people hung out. There are so many wonderful restaurants around that area. And again, this is a fantastic place to take your family. So often we have to do these technical trips. We're away from our family. It's a hard sell to your spouse. So I've got to be away from you to be able to do this. Take the family with you. Take some vacation time. Go down there. Enjoy the beautiful city. This is right before the holidays. Everything will be decorated. There's a dessert luau on Wednesday night, which is always an amazing time. I see tons of parents and kids there as well. Andreas will be there with his moves up on stage, dancing with the coconut shells. I look forward to it. Josh, you look like you got something else on your face. What's going on?
What are these vacations you speak of?
Yeah,
that's not for you. That's for other people. We'll get back to that later.
Wait. Other people?
I was going to say, I'm pretending like I'm the manager. You're my boss. What are you talking about? I'm definitely taking vacation. You better too, boss. And at that event, of course, me and Josh Ludeman are going to be there with Buck Woody doing our hands-on SQL Server ground to cloud, covering SQL 2022. The amazing Karen Lopez and the phenomenal Tom LaRock will also have a pre-con. We're on Sunday with the hands-on lab. They're on Monday with their pre-con. Tuesday, we get straight into the action, and you're going to have a great lineup of speakers, folks that are going to be there. Thomas LeBlanc is there as well. So many other great folks. I want to say, I think we're good. Right, guys?
So I have a question. What were you saying about Karen? Karen's amazing. Tom LaRock is what? The fabulous?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Okay, who's sparkly? Because if you have an amazing and a phenomenal, someone has to be sparkly.
I was going to say that's Pam Lahoud, the SQL goddess herself.
Or she's not going to be there, is she?
She's not going to be there, unfortunately. I'll talk to Pam and see if we can't make you sparkly.
Okay.
That's right.
I can deal with that.
By the way, did you change the hat?
Yes, he did.
No.
It doesn't look as white.
That's a tan hat. It was a white hat, wasn't it?
I did not change the hat. I may not have many. I know.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Hat Man. You are sparkly. I need to get you a sparkly hat. That's sparkly hat at the pre-con. There we go. That is happening.
Maybe.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Microsoft Ignite. It's free. Go sign up for it. There's going to be consulting one-on-one. And you're going to be able to come and hang out with us and talk to us, and we'll be able to help you. I think we got to wrap it out. Demu's part of the organizing team. That's amazing. Dan says SQL or Data Saturday Atlanta is going to be awesome. And the best part is it's free and out of Microsoft Office. Thank you, Daniel. It's absolutely right.
Not just any Office either. It's the newest Microsoft Office.
The newest Microsoft Office in Atlanta.
Newest Microsoft Office, I think, period, at least in the US. I think that's the newest one. And it's basically along the lines of like an East Coast hub, like the smaller little brother sister of Redmond. So
excellent. Well, I mean, that's gonna be a great time. Look, everybody, have a great, safe, wonderful, fantastic weekend. We are back on Tuesday. Andreas is our host. We will see you then.